I hear how Becky told you the story?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you. Here we are at a
bright and early. It's
bright and
so early. It's 12 p.m. in Spain. Look at
we're doing this.
I just woke up.
We promise we have not missed an episode in 8 years, and we're not gonna miss one.
No.
And so here we are before dawn.
Mexican cooking class, be damned.
Exactly.
Because it's a holiday here. So for me, it's like as if it was, I guess, Monday was a holiday for you guys.
So this is like
Monday.
as if I called you at
6 o'clock in the morning. Yes, 100%. But 6 o'clock in the morning for you, and it was like 11 a.m. for me. And I was like, Shai, why are you calling people so early? You're like, I'm always up at 6. And I'm like, no, I mean, it's 11 on a holiday. Why would you call someone?
But that's what we promise you, a great episode. I can start with this story, but Lily, I think everyone, particularly anyone Jewish listening to this podcast, has to understand that we are telling this out of love and
appreciation for our community.
And appreciation for our community. So Becky, we've had a very crazy couple of weeks, and Becky and I are catching up, and I was asking what you were doing because I know you're busy today and stuff, and Becky was telling me, and then she said, "Oh, did you hear what happened to Lily with her rabbi?" And I'm like, or her rabbi's wife, the Rebbitzin.
Yeah, the Rebbitzin.
Right,
who I love and adore.
And who always asks you to do. You're a pillar of the community.
This is a good point, though, because I do get roped in to
This is a running theme on our show. Like you had to do the Purim play with your iPhone where you acted opposite.
A two-person, one-act Purim play.
Exactly.
Where I was most of the play and was told, was asked to do this in front of a huge crowd of people.
And it's amazing what your rabbi and his wife have done for your community. I mean, you live on an island in the middle of nowhere, and they have brought all these people together of different backgrounds. Really. One of the things they do that's amazing is they give you the opportunity to perform mitzvot, which are the commandments in the highest form of good deed in the Jewish religion. They're the things that are...
They don't shy away from a good deed, these guys.
Exactly. And that's amazing. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And what Becky told me is that, Becky told me that your Rebbitzin needs your help to prepare a dead body for burial, which is, in the Jewish religion, literally the highest form of mitzvah that you can perform, which is...
I would have been book of life for a solid 20 years.
And the reason why is that if you do a mitzvah for somebody who literally cannot even say thank you, right? And you may not even know they'll ever know that you did it.
This is a very educational episode.
And I will add, our great-grandfather, this was his job in his community in New York.
No, it's really wild because I think people don't realize that often an individual community does this for their own community.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of times, especially in shtetl days, right? In old times, these rituals were performed within the community. There's not just you can just pay someone to go and do this.
So
you'd think today you could pay someone to go and do this.
You were asked to go and help prepare a body for burial.
Me and every Jewish woman in the community was asked not to go together, but who would be able to go. Do you know what I mean?
So you're not even the way Becky told the story is you got a phone call that said,
did get a special ask.
Lily, I need you right now.
Yes, because everybody else said no.
Oh, now you really my answer is you really have to go do this.
No, wait. So I don't answer right away because I'm trying to process all of this. And also I technically have to work during the time that's being asked of me to go and do this. Okay. So I was like, I have an out, but also should I blow off work and go and do this? Cause it's the greatest and most important mitzvah. And I'm leaving my lovely, lovely, incredible friend and Rebbitzin hanging dry. And I did get a special phone call and a special message being like, I need you to step up and do this. And I immediately turned to Becky to ask because
that's when
you know you need real talk. And I turned to Becky and I was like, do I have to do this? Have I asked you? You would have been like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I turned to Becky and Becky was like, no. Becky was like, there are certain things you can't ask just like a random person to do. And so I wrote her back and I was like, it's a lot to ask of someone. Like in 2025, not in the shtetl. This is
basically in the shtetl, Lily.
Well, I guess I am now. And I was like, but also I work and like, I don't think so. Like, I don't think I was in like a mental state this week to like process doing that. And there's no time. You have to decide like, they need to know it's a ritual that happens very fast.
Very Jewish people
very,
quickly.
very quickly. And there's another incredible woman, actually two other incredible women in the community who the only time they could do this, so this was on a Wednesday and they were asking for it to be Thursday morning and then that's it. That's like the cutoff. And the other, like Thursday morning is a tough time. People are working, whatever. Well, two other women in the community, one a surgeon, which I do think is like a little bit more appropriate than just me. Like...
Fair enough.
And the Rebbitzin was like, "You're right. She has seen a dead body before."
We have a choice between Lily,
me, who I have trouble like cleaning up if I spill a jar of pickles. Like, I spilled my hot tea yesterday on the floor. It was like 45 minutes to clean it up. Like, I don't know if I should be the person or a surgeon. And so the surgeon and the Rebbitzin did say, she was like, she's for sure seen a dead body, so she'll be used to it. Because the Rebbitzin had never done this before. And so it was like,
wait,
yes, she was like,
wow.
I need someone to come with me. I can't do this alone. I know.
These are amazing people. Amazing.
And then so the surgeon who couldn't do it on a Thursday morning, but could go Wednesday night, and Jewish female, because it has to be female, women only, psychologist.
For a woman. So a woman.
For a woman. Woman to woman, man to man.
Got it.
And so a psychologist woman who like was available Wednesday night accompanied them, and the three of them went on Wednesday. And I'm friends with the surgeon, and she like texted me and she was like, I cannot believe I got roped into this. And I was like, dude, it's the highest mitzvah. I was like,
you're smart, Alec.
I was like, you are basically a Jewish saint at this point. I was like, this is so nice of you. She was like, all right, we'll have to like, talk about this another time. And then today, just now in the like there's like this Jewish women community chat, which is so cute.
There's like four of you in it?
There's like, I don't know. There's a lot. There's a bunch of us in it. She texts.
Was this on your island, or did they also have to take one of those little propeller planes to one of the other islands?
No. Okay. I mean, they would have.
But... I'm sorry somebody passed away in your community.
No, but she was elderly. She was in her 90s, and I think she had a really good life. I think her family's in Canada, and so they couldn't get here fast enough for this ritual. And the Rebbitzin wrote this beautiful, beautiful, as a Rebbitzin could, like, message of thanks to the other two women and like about our community, like, and how, people came together, not me, but other people came together. And I was just like, wow, you're not as good a person as you thought you were. And I guess I'm okay with that. I don't know. I mean, most people who listen to this podcast think I'm an asshole, as they write in the comments, but I own it. And it tells you that I must be somewhat of a good person if she did like come to me personally and was like, please do this.
I always say in those situations, thank you to the person for offering you the chance to do
the
mitzvah. Mitzvah. But that is not something that like
this is like another.
If you're in Washington, D.C., where there are
or Montreal,
funeral homes,
or Montreal. Jose looks at me and Jose looks at me, who did not grow up Jewish, and he looks at me and he goes, but come on, Lily, you must be used to this. I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I can 100% tell you, nobody from Montreal is used to this. Like, this is not a thing.
The Papermans are.
Well, they are. I said, except the Papermans, the Jewish funeral home. So I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm 42. It's not like, I grew up in a modern Jewish city. I was like, this is not something that I would have been exposed to. But I'm so glad everybody came together. And it was very funny how, like, which sibling to ask certain things. And how I
because
definitely
because
I
I'm the one,
definitely
because
asked
I'm the one who
Becky.
during the pandemic was like, sure, have a random Spanish doctor come to your apartment
House
and
to
do the bris,
do a
to do
bris,
a
right?
45-minute bris.
Right, exactly. You're the Fania of
Oh,
mitzvot.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Well, or of things like this. I'm just like, yeah, of
you got to
course
do
you
it.
got to do
Yeah.
it.
So
Our great grandfather, he did it for.
I know. I think that this was a very educational episode in the end.
Yeah, wow. I'm glad you told this story. This is great. Okay, other things that have happened lately. I don't know really how to transition, but I went to France
I mean,
last weekend,
if there ever was a transition.
and but Allie's cousin, Josh, and then his fiance, his name is Allie. They got married
Mm-hmm.
in the south of France, and I have, my reaction to this was, have you heard of the south of France? Because it's amazing.
Well, this is my favorite game, and I do wish Becky was here for this because my favorite game is when you're like, I never want to go anywhere. Then you have to go there. You're literally forced, and you're like, there is not so bad. That's all me and Becky try to tell you all the time. There is not so bad. There's a lot of nice things about there, wherever that is.
Extremely beautiful. And the weather's great.
Shai's like, I've discovered this movie, E.T. And when you saw it, and now you're like, guys, there's a secret. The south of France is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
and everybody's
news.
nice there. And there's little cute
Franche.
towns. And we drove around in a little Mini, and it was like, meep, meep, everywhere we went. And it's like, meep, meep.
They literally made Beauty and the Beast about this town.
The town we were staying in looked like a set. And
Wow,
the food is out of this world.
That's so fun.
And I'm walking around the whole time thinking,
should I get a
2 years
beret?
ago? Well, no. There's a hat thing going on there that I was not into. There was a lot of like straw, fedoras. I was like, no, that's a bridge too far. But my main reaction was like, every time I go on vacation with Josh and Danielle, it's in like somewhere where it's raining the whole time. I was like,
right, where you need
Iceland,
crampons. What are those
Yeah,
called?
yeah,
you need shoes, crampoons. You
yeah.
need shoes that can climb ice when you're with
So you
them.
know how Josh's complaints? Here's Shai's complaints. Josh, what in the F? Why have we been going to all these other places when the south of France is
It's
just
been here the
sitting
whole
there
time?
The whole time. I'm like, I'm walking through waterfalls, getting rained on,
climbing icebergs,
doing via ferrata, hanging from things. You know what you do in the south of France? You sleep until noon. You drink. People are just having wine for breakfast, and you take another nap. You drive around to some little
eat a baguette.
A little town that's like built into the side of a mountain. Look at a winery. Go back to sleep. Then hang out all night. Great. So that's my reaction to the south. I feel like
you need to introduce Josh and Danielle to the south of France.
That's south of France. And then last but not least, we have, or not last but not least, you also had an international experience?
Oh, I did. So I don't know if we've talked about this a lot on the pod, but I can't do spicy food. Like,
no, I know this. I remember I was so excited once to take you to this Spanish language restaurant. Melon, Washington,
I was going to say Cozumel. I remember.
It was one of my favorite restaurants. And
you hadn't been living in DC that long. Like, you were
a decade. You already lived in Spain. But it's one of my favorite restaurants, and I was excited to take you there. And we got there, and you looked at me, and you were like, I can't believe you did this.
It's going to be too spicy. And it was very spicy. So we have this amazing friend who's an incredible chef. And he does like these like show cookings, I guess. It like where he shows you how to make. Like he's worked in Michelin star restaurants. He's had incredible restaurants here. Anyways, he's amazing. And he's from Pueblo, Mexico. And he cooks all kinds of cuisine. But this was a cooking course on his mom's recipes. Like the stuff that he ate when he was a kid at home, like comfort food. And and it was 6 dishes. And I, for some reason, thought that I would be able to I was like, this is perfect because then I can eat the food, but I'll be able to put the amount of spice in that I want. No, I didn't realize that he's cooking and showing you how he makes the recipe, and you have this little book that has the recipe in it, but then he serves everyone. There's 12 people. So it's just like a one fits all.
He didn't
chili.
give you a he didn't give you like a little spice meter you could check off.
He did, except he was the spice meter. He'd take a taste with a spoon and be like, Lily, just a little picante. And I'm like, if a Mexican chef is telling me a little picante, Jose looked at me, he's like, you're fucked. You can't eat this. Jose was like, no, you're not going to be able to eat this. But Lily, I did. Yes.
Lily, when there's pepper in something,
black
pepper, it's spicy.
Yes.
When there's what's the vegetable that peppery? Arugula?
Oh, so spicy.
You're like, I can't eat
that lettuce is a very spicy lettuce. The best was that someone that I was at the table at the course was like, well, that's not really true because everybody experiences spice. Some people tolerate it more. And I was like, hey, we haven't met. I think things are spicy and everybody else is like, they're not. So I detect spice at levels like a canine. I was like, people don't. It's like those dogs that can detect diabetes. Like, I can smell the spice. I can taste the spice when other people think it's not there. Anyways, I did pretty good. I had 3 out of the 6 dishes. The other 3.
Are you okay?
Well, my lips burn still.
Phil, 2 days later.
2 days. But it was a very cool experience. But yeah, I'm just a lightweight.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a show about movies and TV. Tonight, gonna go see Mission Impossible with my family for our Friday night movie.
You guys have so many choices for theaters. Like, I feel like, how did you choose your theater? You're doing the Dolby, the one that serves you dinner.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the
IMAX.
We're going to the Alamo, the big show, and I just
no
want to
IMAX.
be super.
No IMAX.
No, because IMAX is just generally loud. The Dolby Atmos is the sound you want. So IMAX is big, but it's usually just big and really too loud. The Dolby Atmos is sounds amazing, and the Big Show Theater at the Alamo is perfectly sized. It's beautiful.
Do you buy your seats already? Like, you know what seat you're sitting in?
Oh yeah, we got the end of the middle of that middle spot that I like. That's right at the edge before the break where people there's the front rows and then there's the middle section. So it's we're not in the center, but it's fine. But what I'm most proud about is 2 years ago I took my daughters to see the first one of this series of the Dead Reckoning, whatever, and they were like, we got to go see it in the theater. And I feel like you plant the seeds as a parent, and then they blossom.
100%. This is amazing. That's such a fun Friday night movie. I mean, it's the ultimate Friday night movie.
It's the ultimate Friday night.
It's the ultimate Friday.
I'm very excited. I feel very proud as a parent. I'll probably go see it again next week.
Whereas I have to find which shitty theater will have it in English for me to go see. And then I just end up being like, oh, I'll just watch it on my TV. Because I'm not going to go see that movie dubbed. I've seen other Mission Impossibles dubbed, but I'm like, not this one. I want to see it good. But I saw an interview with him on one of the talk shows, maybe Fallon or something, with Cruise, and he's just talking about one of the stunts in the movie.
Oh, don't ruin anything.
And he showed a clip of it, and it's 2 years again, with the motorcycle going off the cliff, and then the squirrel suit or whatever he wears in the previous movie.
Is this the airplane one?
This is the airplane one, yeah. And it's 2 years to do this, and he's just it is wild what he is willing to do. It is pretty nuts. I do fear for his safety, geez. But
my kids asked me, they're like, is this going to be the last one? It's called The Final Reckoning. And I was like, absolutely not. There is no way.
But unless, I don't know what sort of Scientology, forever youth potion he's drinking, but the guy eventually he's old. I only feel bad for him that when he was younger, all this technology didn't exist for him to make these movies because he seems very happy. Anyways, I can't wait to hear the review, and then we have to have Mike Roberts on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a Mike Roberts episode coming up soon. And then the show that we're both liking is Murderbot. You watched the first couple episodes?
Yeah.
People should watch that. It's weird and awesome and funny.
It's weird and awesome and funny. And Skarsgård. Exactly. That's the headline. Weird and awesome and funny and Skarsgård. And Tamara Panimsky and like everybody else is fantastic in the show.
A little bit of a spoiler, but when she gets like eaten in the opening scene of
like in that first episode.
In the first episode, she doesn't die.
She's fine.
But I was like,
I was like, oh my God, did they only have her in this show for one episode? I was like, that's terrible. But no, she's a hilarious character, and it has like a bit of an Office feel or like a Veep feel.
There's a little bit of a workplace comedy because it's like these hippies colonizing a moon.
And there's
like
another, and we
Blade
find
Runner.
out, but also Blade Runner, but also the robot, like the futuristic robot who's hacked his system, who he's trying to stay undercover because he doesn't want them to figure out, and he watches tons of shows. And so like there's so many hilarious pop culture kind of references.
This is the kind of thing that I'm so happy exists.
Yeah.
Like
we need this right now. This is what we need right now.
I'm just so impressed with someone came up with all of the stuff in this. It does remind me though, if someone wants to go back and find it.
Amazing.
If someone wants to go back and find Dallas and Robo from Mike Roberts, it does remind me a little bit.
You're right. Yeah. There is this sort of punk, absurd future world thing going on. But it's great so far.
Can we end on, because we do have to go in a moment.
Yeah.
Can we end on you telling me the story about the state of your diplomacy between your boys? Just because as an older sibling, I love hearing you dealing with an older sibling child.
But also a boy. Like
the amount that you know about
dynamic.
Transformers now is amazing.
And Legos and superheroes and like the Marvel guys and the Teen Titans go. And I just got schooled on the Beast Boy this morning. I didn't realize that he could turn into I didn't realize he could turn into like a full octopus. And they were like, oh my God, he can turn into a dinosaur, you dum-dum. And I was like, sorry, I don't know why I thought like octopus was a bridge too far for him. My kids were like, he could be a full T-Rex. God, Mom. This morning, my older 9, right? That's a huge age difference, I think, also with older sibling. I guess it doesn't matter. Even above 2 years, there's a manipulation game going on. Because if it's 8 to 6, that's still a bit of a jump, right? 10 to 12, not so much. But this is 9 to 4 and a half.
I have 13 and 11. Now it's just them working against me.
Right, exactly. In a Target or a Sephora.
That was yesterday. I went to Target with them.
You got played.
We're passing by the makeup section, and I was like, guys, isn't this Sephora? They're like, no, Dad. I'm like, this looks just like Sephora. It's enormous. It smells.
But also there's like action figures here. So why aren't we always here is what you were asking.
Oh my God. Definitely. They had things to get, and I was like, I'm going to go look at the toys.
At the He-Man.
I was looking at the He-Man. The He-Man. The He-Man. Did you just call them the He-Man?
The He-Man.
Yeah, the He-Man.
The He-Man. The He-Men. There's many. The He-Man figures. And so this morning there was an epic trade going on in my house for Legos, but Legos that were Marvel guys. So a Lego Iron Man, a Lego, Captain America.
By the way, you can get custom one of those at a Comic-Con. So
that's very cool because
you get ones that you can't get in.
Those are huge here. And there was a trade, like an international trade going on between nations, and a trade was made, but my little guy, Asher, did not realize that trades are permanent. I mean, are they? What are the rules?
I mean, an older sibling will sometimes reveal the deal afterward. It's like the scene in Empire Strikes Back where Darth Vader says, "Pray I don't keep altering the deal."
Yeah. Well, this was Ari was 100% Darth Vader in this scenario. Because he was like, okay, we're making a Tradesies. I'm giving you this like very crappy, nondescript character for Iron Man. who's Asher's like favorite Lego guy right now. And so they switch, and Ari's like, trades are forever. There's never a trade back. And I just hear, Mommy! And he comes running into my office, and he's like, Mommy, I'm never going to get my toy back. There was a trade, and you can't undo trades. You can't undo them. And now it's forever. And I'm just like, Aria, give him his toy back. And Ari's like, trades, bitch. That's what they are. They're forever deals. And I was like, they're not forever deals. Give your little brother his toy back. And Asher's like, why?
Well, I guess.
And I literally was trying to broker this renegotiation for half an hour. And I was like, you know what, guys? Someone go get your dad. Because I was like, I'm not good at diplomacy. And I was
but
like,
he's an older brother.
He's an older brother, and he's a sensei. Might have been like,
trades are forever.
He might have, but I was like, you know what? The sensei will decide. I was like, I can't try and negotiate. Like, it's like trying to negotiate imaginary rules. Like, every time I said something, Ari was like, well, actually, do not read the fine print of the contract.
All right, and with that, I'm so glad we got to do this episode.
It was great, yeah.
I think I made one of the great mistakes, though, and I did not, I hear myself on my microphone.
Oh, but you're not using your microphone.
I think my microphone is being used by the camera, so hopefully this won't be unbearable to listen to.
I know, I don't think so. I did notice it at first, but I was like, who am I to tell the... I was like, who am I to tell the master about his microphone?
We were rushing into this one. And my computer did a big update, so...
But you still sound pretty great.
I love you.
Becky never uses her microphone, and it's fine.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
You do. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FryNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.